does expire at 8:30 p.m. tonight. You can see the area of rotation is right here. Right now we can see that little red flashing box. That means if you are in Union Parish or in the area of the red flashing box, you need to be getting into your safe place immediately. That is the interior room of any office, home, or building that you reside in or are located at currently that does not have any windows. Make sure you are away from windows. That is the key point about taking shelter in a tornado safety. If you know anyone that is driving currently, ask them to pull over on the side of the road, and especially not underneath an overpass or a bridge. Again, make sure it's under a safe place. And again, this is a tornado warning for Union Parish. We are tracking the storm until 8:30 p.m. tonight. The time is now currently just 1 minute after the hour, so we have about 29 more minutes of tracking this storm here as it heads mostly northeast at this time. Notice though, the good news about it is that there's not a lot of lightning being produced with it as well. So the instant of it encouraging further development is not very noticeable, but that very defined echo or hook echo right there that we are tracking just here, you can see just a little bit closer what we're talking about here. This area right here, that's that hook. So if you're in Lily Street or Bethel Springs or Randolph or Rum Center, if you're in any of these areas up north or near Taylortown, you need to get to your safe place immediately. That means that not now, not in a few minutes, anybody along this road, Lily Street, Taylortown, Lockhart, Rum Center, any of those areas, if you know anybody in those areas, make sure they are also taking shelter. Give them a call and make sure that, again, the interior room of your office, home, building, if you head out to the store to pick up some late night groceries, and make sure that you're not near any windows or anything that could cause debris to fly over. I'm going to step off the screen for just a minute to get the specs of the storm. And also notice that today we didn't really have a large tornado threat, I guess you could say. But obviously it wasn't zero. So keep that in mind tonight as we continue tracking these storms. The potential circulation, again, associated with the storm in Western Union Parish is near the community of Lily. It's just west of Lily right now. And the storm is moving northeast. So if you are north of Lily, so Rum Center, Taylortown, I'm going to scooch in a little bit closer here. That is Price Road, just north of Lily here. And again, this area, that is Smith Street or Smith Lane, I believe. If you are in any of those areas in this red flashing box or north of it, make sure that you are in your safe place. Notify anybody that's in that area near Taylortown or Rum Center. If you are north of that, this is in Union Parish of Louisiana. So if in Union County in southern Arkansas, which is just north of that, you may also want to give people a call to make sure they are getting into their safe place as well. The storm isn't very big. It's only moving at approximately 20 miles per hour northeast at this time, or directly north really. So again, anybody near Rum Center, Taylortown, especially Lily, if you are on Price Road, anybody you know along that road, Price Road, you need to be getting into your safe place immediately. And I'll repeat this a lot. So we're tracking a tornado warning that's in Union Parish, Louisiana right now, just south of the border really of South Arkansas, and this will be tracking until about 8:30 p.m. tonight. We have about 28 more minutes to track this storm. So if you know anybody in the area near just east of Bethel Springs, north of Lily, west of Lily, Rum Center, Taylortown, that's a very developed area right there. Anybody you know, any friends, family, give them a call. Make sure they have a heads up. Tonight wasn't a very as expected night for severe weather, but that doesn't mean it was zero. So people may have not been realizing that, oh, we have severe weather tonight. So just give them a call, make sure they're aware of what's going on. We do have a tornado warning for Western Union Parish at this time. It's going to be lasting until 8:30 p.m. and I'll come back here and circle it for you just for a moment. And again, it's just north of Lily at this time, and it'll be moving primarily northeast. So here's what the area that we're tracking right here, and it's going to be moving northeast. So if you're along any of that line, if you know anyone in the red flashing box right here, that's Rum Center, Taylortown, even Spearsville, if it moves even a little bit further more east than per se northeast. Anybody in the red flashing box, get into your safe place. That is, again, the interior room of your home, office, building, wherever you may be, as long as it doesn't have any windows. And the reason for that is if it is picking up any debris, we can actually switch over to the velocity to see if there's a couplet there. If it's kicking up any debris, that's really the main concern of why we tell you not to go near any windows. And I'm looking at it here. There is a slight couplet. I'll circle it for you, but honestly, it's not super distinct. Right there, that's where the reds and the greens are mixing. That's the main area of rotation that we're concerned with right now, why the prompt of the tornado warning was radar indicated. And also notice with the storm, it's not moving very fast this time, only about 20 miles per hour, just directly north-northeast. So if you are in Lily, and I'll zoom in a little closer so you can see street names real quick. If you are in this area, especially where it's circled, you need to be taking shelter immediately. So just east of Bethel Springs here, and it's just west of Bethel. So I'm gonna zoom out just to see real quick. There's Lily right there. Let's get the bigger picture for the entire area. Notice we weren't expecting a whole lot in terms of tornadic activity today. It is the only one in the entire ArkLaMiss at this hour, and really the only storm that we're tracking as well. So, and it doesn't look super developed at this time, but we are still tracking it here. We are going to look at the rotation. We use velocity just for a second. And the area of rotation that we would be looking at is right here right now. That's where those reds and greens mixes. And again, if you're just not joining us, we are tracking a tornado warning. This is for Union Parish, Louisiana, just south of the border of Arkansas until 8:30 p.m. You can see that warning right there. It expires again at 8:30 p.m. So we have roughly just under 22 minutes right now. It's just 7 minutes after the hour. So let's look at some street names real quick to see who all needs to know about everything that's in the area. And if you know anyone in the red flashing box, make sure you give them a call. Make sure to tell them to get into your safe place. That is Price Road right here. Anyone along Price Road, especially in the Lily community, that's where you need to be going right now. See, the Lily is right just below me. And if you know anyone up north as well, near Randolph and Rum Center, I believe that's Sealer Road right there, go get a better look at that. But anyone in those areas, that's especially where you need to be concerned with. If you know anyone driving along those areas, give them a call. Make sure they are staying weather aware. Make sure that they are not driving through tornadoes, and if weather gets bad enough, which honestly, the rotation seems to be a little lackluster this time, but we are going to stay on the air until the warning is going to be canceled or allowed to expire. It was actually continued for a few minutes or further until 8:30, and rotation is weak, but it's still apparent. It's still, you see the red and the green mixing right there. Just east of Bethel Springs, there's a little bit of red and green mixing, so that's just northwest of Lily right now. So if you're in the area of Rum Center, Randolph, Taylortown, there, it got a little bit tighter. There's a little bit of green right there. Just north of Price Road, if you're anyone you know is along Pilgrim's Rest Church Road, give them a call. Make sure they're in their safe place. Their safe place is an interior room of their home, office, or building, preferably a bathroom on the interior portion of their home. That's always one of the safest areas, is the bathtub. And just give them a call. Make sure they know what's going on. Again, here's your area of rotation right here, just north of Price Road at this time. So there's a few areas that we could see right there. And honestly, folks, this thing is moving pretty slow at this time, about 20 miles per hour, mostly north-northeast. And if we took a record of it, it's moving more north than northeast. So anybody that you know a little bit north, that's Rum Center, and this area of development here, anybody you know, or if you are there, make sure you're taking shelter in the interior portion of your home or office or building, wherever you may be. If you're driving, if you're coming home from work, school, whatever, what have you, make sure that you're taking precaution. If you're listening to Jared's Facebook Live, make sure that you are, again, taking all precaution necessary. Now, since Taylortown is in the red flashing box, that doesn't mean you are in the area of concern as well. Notice the area of rotation is staying pretty far left-sided right now, again, just north of Price Road right here. I'll circle it for you one more time. Just north of Price Road. But if we keep in mind that it's moving mostly north-northeast, it's moving this way. So if you or anyone you know is headed in like Lockhart in that area, make sure you give them a call, make sure they know what's happening, make sure they're staying very weather aware right now. That's in the interior portion of any home or office building you may reside in. And just take a step back at the bigger picture. So Taylortown, Lockhart, and honestly, lightning is starting to get a little bit more developed, and the area of rotation is still fairly broad, but it's not zero. And that's why we're still going to keep this track of the storm right here until 8:30. This is for mostly southwestern Union Parish right now. Here's the state line right here. So if you are in southern Arkansas right now, in Union County, anyone you know in Union County, you may want to start taking shelter, taking those precautions to get and know where your safe place is. And let's look at it on reflectivity. We just had a radar update, and the rotation looks about the same. So let's look at it on reflectivity. And yeah, it would be right about here would be the area of rotation. This is not a textbook storm. That's not a textbook storm. That's not the hook that we saw earlier when we first got on air and online. So this is something that we just are keeping our eye on. If we go on velocity, you would see that same exact area that I circled. Again, yes, that's the area of rotation. Your reds and greens are mixing. That is inducive of winds going away and towards the radar. We are using the Shreveport radar right now. So it's a bit far away. So let's use our radar just for a second and see if we see the same thing. So it's even broader rotation on our radar as well, but we are still keeping track of this potential tornado. It has not been confirmed. It is just an area of rotation that was radar indicated. So, and it's moving about approximately 20 miles northeast. That's why the red box here is moving more northeast. And that's also very untypical for storms that we typically see for this time of year. For previous tornado watches and warnings that we've had, they mostly go majority east. This one's going almost directly north. So that's a little bit atypical of what we see here in the ArcLMS. But again, let's look at this a little bit closer. Let's look at some street names. And just north of Price Road right now, just south of Rum Center. So Old Junction Road right here, it's crossing Old Junction Road is the potential tornado or area of rotation rather. And if we move back, we could see a few more roads just north of it. So Rum Center right here, that's Crater Road, and just east of Randolph. So if you're in Randolph, you need to be taking shelter immediately as well, because the area of rotation is really hugging and really likes the western portion of this tornado square, this warning square. So if you're in Taylortown, I'm not saying don't take shelter at all, because obviously you are in the tornado warning. You need to take shelter and take heed to any warning that you're in. But if you're in Randolph and the Rum Center, you also need to be taking shelter. Rum Center, you're obviously in the tornado warning until 8:30. But Randolph as well, just because it's hugging this very edge of the tornado warning at this time. You can see here the area of rotation is starting to broaden out a little bit, but also, again, it's still on the western edge near Randolph at this time. I'm going to step off screen real quick just to look at the road names a little bit more specifically and get an understanding of how fast this is moving. Let's see. It's still moving about 20 miles per hour, almost directly north. The tornado warning is still in effect till 8:30 p.m. So that's just something that we're going to have to watch until for another 15 minutes or so, actually 16 minutes or so. And the area rotation is not particularly tight at this moment. It is something that we just have to keep our eye on. And again, it's near Randolph at this time, actually. I'll circle it for you right here. This is the area that we're looking at. Now, it's a very broad, very large circle, but the area of rotation is very broad. So this circle would obviously be a little bit larger than originally planned. I honestly don't see a reason. Oh, there we go. Like I said, I didn't see a reason for us to have the tornado warning continue until 8:30 due to the broad area of rotation. So I'm going to send you back to your paid program again. I'm meteorologist Alex Mull, and